Hey guys, well, I tried doing a video horizontal and for some reason my phone will not turn. So vertical it is. I hope that you are doing well this Sunday morning. I think it has been more than a week since I have done a video, maybe about a week. This past week was really rough, and so I needed to focus on my family and my own recovery, and wasn't here very much. But Matthew and the kids are at church right now, and I thought before I took a little nap, I would come on here and give a little update on how my recovery is going and excuse me, where things are at and what things are looking like. I'm just going to quickly refresh here on my laptop. I want to be sure that this is looking right. If you're tuning in, feel free to say hi or ask any questions. I can see the comments now right. Last time I did this, they were upside down from what I was viewing. But I think we're showing up now. Yes. Okay, good. So I had surgery on Friday, December 2nd. I'm just going to click this over. I see you guys joining. Hey, Lauren, I see you. I had the surgery on the 2nd, and hey, guys, thanks for saying hello. I went in for breast reduction, and then I had a 4-inch tear in my abdomen from bearing children. My surgeon told me that he very commonly sees women who have had more than 3 children, that a lot of times you'll get a little rip after one child and it'll rip a little more after the second child, but that third child really kind of wreaks havoc. So I had done physical therapy and had done all these exercises, and the hole didn't really get any smaller. I was having a lot of low back pain from that. And then having such a large chest, I was having a lot of neck pain, shoulder pain. I get a lot of headaches, and so we thought a reduction might help with that. And so opted to do both surgeries at the same time. And then since I gained so much weight with each of my kids, I had a lot of extra skin as well, and so since they were going to be going in and repairing my abdomen, I opted to do the tummy tuck at the same time. It's very common for when you have a tummy tuck done that if you do have any sort of abdominal tear, that they will repair that. So I had a really hard first week, which is pretty normal. Then my second week, we'll start with a week ago Sunday. So Sunday, Ezra, my littlest, he'll be 2 at the end of the month, came down with a fever. And he had that fever through Wednesday morning. So he was home Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. He's normally at daycare. And then my big kids, this was their last full week of school. I have a weight restriction that I can only lift 3 pounds, so I obviously couldn't lift him, and Matthew had some work this week, some deadlines this week. He's a writer and photographer, and so we had to get a babysitter every day because even though I was home, I could not lift him, and obviously I was only a week out from surgery, and so was dealing with my own stuff, and so that was really hard because while the babysitter was there for Ezra, I was home, right? So Ezra doesn't really understand why I'm not helping him, and or the babysitters were there and Ezra was napping, and then I sort of felt like I needed to entertain or talk, you know what I mean? Like, it just wasn't ideal. So I didn't get as much sleep during the day, and it really sucked. He was waking up a lot at night, so Matthew wasn't getting great sleep, and we were both cranky, and it just wasn't good. Okay, I'm seeing questions. Did I have nausea after surgery? If so, how do you handle it? Elise, I didn't have much nausea immediately after the surgery. They gave me anti-nausea medication because I am prone to that. So they gave me medication for that before the surgery. I think during the surgery I was getting some sort of drip. And I came home with some anti-nausea drugs. So the few times that I did feel nauseous, I just took those pills. So I never threw up, which was really good. Because yes, it is not good to throw up with abdominal surgery. So Ezra was better Wednesday, 24 hours, no fever. And so Thursday, he went back to school. Thursday night, Adeline, my 5-year-old, came home and she said, I don't feel so good. I think they said I have a fever. And she was real emotional and wasn't acting quite right. And so we took her temperature. She had a low-grade fever. I said, why don't you lay down? Gave her some chewables. She lay down on the couch. And you guys, I put like my nicest, thickest, warmest Anthropology wool blanket that has to be dry cleaned. I don't know why I didn't give her like a fleece blanket, but 5 minutes later she puked all over the blanket, her stuffed animal. So she was home then Friday. So literally almost the entire second week of my recovery, which was supposed to be this really quiet week, Matthew going out and doing writing work, me at home sleeping, taking medication, sleeping some more, instead turned in to sick kids the whole entire week. So that really stunk. So then Adeline was home on Friday. Obviously, I'm not having to lift her, so we didn't need a babysitter on Friday. But it was really hard. I just did not get the rest I would have liked to have gotten. And it was just hard on Matthew and I. Like, it just was a crummy week. Also, kind of in the midst of all of that, let me think, on Thursday, I developed an infection in my breasts, which is not uncommon. They actually sent us home with an antibiotic in case that happened. I just noticed a little bit of yellow drainage coming from one of my incisions, and they said it could be, just normal drainage. Did I have any heat, or was I hot or fever, or was anything red? And I said no. And they said, okay, just clean that drainage with a washcloth and some baby shampoo, dry it with a blow dryer, and keep an eye on it. So I go in the bathroom and I take off my surgical bra to clean this up, because I noticed it like from looking this way. Okay, so I was only looking at my top half. You guys, the whole lower half was all red and hot. So I call the nurse back. I'm like, yeah, I think there is infection. So we start me on an antibiotic. And 2 days later, I was in full hives. So yeah, I think that was Wednesday or Thursday. I can't remember. But Friday, I could not stop itching. And I have allergies to lots of medications, lots of antibiotics. And so they called in another one, and I started another one. I still am dealing with some hives. It's not as bad. And I'm going to the doctor tomorrow. My appointment with my surgeon is on Thursday. I still have a lot of swelling. So he thinks that, and so that's nearly 3 weeks. Thursday will be 1 day less than 3 weeks. So he thinks I won't be able to get the drain out till Thursday. I'm hoping that I'll get the drain out tomorrow. I'm right around, so the drain, let me show you. I don't think it's too gross. So I have this binder on, okay? So I've got this surgical binder on that goes from here all the way to my pelvis. That I'll wear for the next couple months. And then you're cut hip to hip with the abdominoplasty. And so out my one hip, I have this little, let me unhook it so I can lift it up. It looks almost like a little grenade, and the fluid from the drain from your body kind of drains out here. So it's just this little like grenade looking thing. It's kind of gross, but I mean, it's pretty much empty right now. So, so that needs to be down to 25 to 30 milliliters for 2 days, and then I'll be able to get it removed. And so I am close to that. So I'm hoping that I will be able to get that out tomorrow, because it's starting to get irritated because it's been in there so long. It's making things a lot harder, just like movement wise for me. Like, oh God, I'm like so over the drain, and it's got like its own set of gauze around it, and that my skin's getting irritated from the tape. Like, I'm so over the drain. Lauren, I'm seeing your comments that you broke out in hives too. They thought it was from being in the sun in the med. So I've not been in the sun, but I've heard of that happening too. So anyway, I don't know if why I'm getting the hives. I'm like itching right now just talking about it. But I'm staying on this antibiotic so one more day. I think I can live with it. So we're gonna go in tomorrow because I'm still having drainage from this one nipple. I still have steri strips on. So I hope this isn't TMI. I just felt like I couldn't find any of this information. No one talks about it, and so I'm just putting it out there. If you don't want to hear it, just stop watching. So they put steri strips. The way they do a breast reduction is it's called an anchor cut. So they do a circle around your nipple, and then they go down the lower half of the breast, and then they cut completely under the breast. Okay, and so all of that, I had steri strips on, which are I had them for my C-section. You know, they kind of look like tape. So I still had steri strips on my nipples and going down. All the steri strips under here have come off, and so now I'm putting Vaseline. It's very tender. What I have read from other people's experiences is that I'll have to do some massage. Like it is kind of bumpy under there, not obnoxiously, but that you kind of like massage that and that goes away. So anyway, those steri strips around this nipple that I keep pointing to, I keep having drainage from. That's where I had the yellow drainage from with the infection. I had some blood coming from it this morning, and it's 2 weeks. So we're going in tomorrow just to like have all that looked at. They'll look at the drain. We'll see if I have to keep it in or not. Okay, so a couple comments. Misty, how did you find out that you had the split? I suspect you may have it from being pregnant, but not sure how to confirm. So if you go on YouTube and search diastasis recti, there's a, you like lay on the floor and do some breathing thing, and you can feel it. Like you could stick my hand right through my stomach. If you search diastasis recti on my blog on themomcreative.com, I linked to a video that I watched, and I just knew. I read this article actually on Huffington Post about it, and I was like, I have that. Like, I know that I have that. And so when I had like the upper back issue from the chest and then that low back, I mean, it just was constant pain, and it was not going away. And I talked to my general doctor because there are people who advocate for doing exercises and you can make it go away. Well, you can make like a 1 or 2 inch from what I have read. But a 4-inch hole, a 5-inch, some people have like 6-inch, you eventually can get a hernia from it. Like, that's not going away unless it's sewn back together. And I will tell you, I already have so much less back pain in my shoulders and neck. It's unbelievable. I haven't felt like this since high school. And my low back, even though I'm still a little hunched over, I'm getting to be where I can walk pretty straight. My low back feels nothing like it used to. Oh, Crystal, thanks for your kind words, and Lindsay, thank you. Here in my jammies. How long is a typical recovery for like 100% good to go? So, Christina, what I have heard is that I will have swelling for months, like 6 months. Some people say it even takes a year before you really have kind of like finished the transformation. I know that my surgeon wouldn't give me a time of when I would be able to lift Ezra again. He said at least 2 months, so that would be February before I'll be able to lift him. He's 25 pounds. I think that's the one thing, and kind of thinking back, is I wonder if I should have waited 1 more year. I'm so glad that I did this surgery. In a lot of ways, I think it was good that I did it now just for other reasons. But in terms of Ezra, that's been really bad. I mean, understand, like, I can't lift him to put him in his car seat. I can't take him out of his crib. So that's been really hard. So I don't know how long that will be, like when all the weight restrictions are. I generally just take long to heal. I had a friend that I talked to before the surgery who just had the abdominal surgery, and she was like, has 5 kids, okay, and she had a 6-inch hole, and she did not have the breast reduction with the surgery, but she had the diastasis, and she had a hernia. And she said after 2 weeks, she was back to full-time taking care of her kids, and she had 5. And she's a friend of a friend that I talked to, and she, including like a little baby that she was carrying around, like there is no way that today I could be taking care of 5 kids. No, like no way. I can barely take care of my 3, and 2 of them are pretty self-sufficient. So I think that it's different for everyone, and you've got to really listen to your body. I can feel, like, I can't feel the stitches, but I have a lot of pain down the middle of my stomach. And today in particular, I have a lot of pain today. I didn't sleep well last night. We had some storms here, and I'm sleeping in this little, like, alcove in our house. It's all windows, and so the storm kept waking me. And then I'm still on all the pain medication. So that's the other thing, is that I'm on 3 types of pain medication. I'm on oxycodone, and then I don't know what the other 2 are. Something for muscle spasm, and then something else that's like just to reduce your pain level. The doctor said it sort of like tricks your body into thinking it's not in as much pain. And I will say that on Wednesday or Thursday, I stopped taking the muscle one and the not tricking my body one. I'm like, I feel like I'm feeling pretty good. I'm going to just stay on the oxycodone. I can add in some Advil. I think I'm doing better. Because when you're on that much pain medication, as I've shared in some of these other videos, is that you get extremely constipated. And so I was having abdominal pain from that as well, to the point where my surgeon said that I should be doing suppositories twice a day, which is not fun. And so I went off of those, and you guys, immediately that fixed the constipation. And so I was feeling a lot better. But I think that medicine was in me still the first day. And then the second day, which was, I think, Friday, was a horrible day. Horrible. I was in so much pain, and I was talking to Matthew, and he didn't know that I had gone off both of them, and he was like, why in the world did you go off of those medicines? And so then I started those back up, and so now I'm constipated again, but I'm not in as much pain. I'm due for some pain medicine here pretty soon. And so, yeah, I mean, it's just slow. And I will tell you that this abdominal binder, like, I cannot do anything if it is not on. Like, I take it off to, so I'll show you. I've got a tank top on, okay, that goes all the way down. And then I've got this, like, ugly, big surgical bra on, okay? And so the tank top helps with the, because the steri strips are off, that area, even with the Vaseline, it's raw, so it just kind of protects it from the bra. And then it also helps with the abdominal binder. That big piece of elastic is not comfortable on your skin, so it kind of protects that. So I, like, every morning take it all off. I put lotion on, and then I put that on, and then the bra, and then the binder. And Matthew does the binder for me so that it is good and tight. And I definitely notice a difference. I tried doing it myself one day, and it was not as tight, and I hurt more that day. As far as, am I able to move around and do stairs? Yes, I am able to move around. I'm walking around. I can't bend to the floor. I can, like, squat, but it's hard for me to get things off the ground. So I have the kids do that for me, or, like, empty the dishwasher. Like, the lower rack is hard. But I can, I can walk around. I can do stairs. I'm still sleeping in the lift chair recliner, and I imagine I'll be doing that for another week or 2 weeks. It is just more comfortable, and it does keep me on my back. I'm a stomach sleeper. This past week when I had the kids home and I needed to sleep when they were awake, or there was more activity in our lower level, I did sleep in our bed, and I just, like, propped several pillows up to kind of give my body a little lift, and then I had a pillow under my legs, and I did stay in one, in one place. I didn't move to, I'm a stomach sleeper normally, so the concern with being in a bed is that I'll go to my side or my stomach, and it is very hard for me to get out of a bed, to come from that total laying down, whereas with the lift chair, it lifts me up, so that really helps. As far as, will I need any physical therapy, they haven't mentioned that, so I don't know. I think I need time and patience. I have not driven yet also because of being on so much medication. That's not to say I couldn't drive. I just don't know. And so I haven't. We're just being very cautious, and really I don't want to overdo it at all. We had meals brought to us this whole last week and had helped the week before. And so that was really helpful. So this will kind of be our first week on our own, and the 2 big kids are home for Christmas break. So it sounds like having 2 C-sections at once. Yeah, it's definitely, you know, people said, oh, if you had a C-section, then you'll be fine. Like, this is way worse than what my C-section was. I only had 1 C-section, but this is substantially harder. Recovery, pain-wise, yeah. I will say though, I haven't really noticed the breast pain at all. And I can lift my arms just fine. I did have, so one thing that I don't think I've shared this, but in talking with a lot of people, I made sure to have some lipo done on the sides. So I had lipo done here, and then I had lipo done down here, because what I learned from a lot of people, and I don't know why the surgeons don't tell you this, but if you're paying just for the breast reduction or just for the abdominoplasty, it sort of like stops at the front of you. And if you don't have lipo done for that contouring, a lot of times you have to go in for corrective surgery. You'll get what they call it, the breast, they call it, what did my nurse call it? Like a dog ear is what she said, that it's this like flappy piece of skin that kind of hangs because that contouring isn't done. So I had a lot of bruising on my sides from that, but I'm really happy that I did that. And it's funny, every nurse that has seen me has been like, oh, this looks really good. Like, you look really good. So I don't know what's good. I feel like I'm in a lot of pain and there's a lot going on. But I am glad that I did that, because I do feel like that when I'm healed will really make a difference. As far as would I do them both again? Absolutely, at the same time. I don't know why you wouldn't. For me in particular, because I work full time, I'm having to take leave, surgical leave, short-term disability. And so I would be out, I don't know, like 2-3 weeks with a breast reduction, and then again 4-5 weeks with an abdominoplasty. So I will be out 4 or 5 weeks for both. So that's really good. It's easier for my family. It's easier for my job. So I see really no downside, with the exception of kind of what I feel like is the small complication with the infection. My breast pain has not really been there. I mean, it's not been a big deal. I've had a little pain here, and, you know, there's been a little bit of discomfort, but I feel so good in my shoulders and neck that feels remarkable to me. And the abdominal surgery hurts so much. Not the incision, like what's sewn inside of me, hurts so much that I think that is masking maybe pain that I would have from my breast reduction that I don't have. So I'm glad that I did all the things all at once, even though it was a lot and it was expensive. It was something that we had to save for. The breast reduction was totally covered by insurance, except for meeting our deductible. But the abdominal surgery was not covered, even though I had this medical condition of the diastasis. They do not cover it if you don't have a hernia. And we just didn't see a sense in waiting until I had a hernia. And even then they would cover like that repair. But because I wanted to get the abdominoplasty with it and get that extra skin removed and just kind of feel like I was in my own body again, I was opting to do that, and I would have to pay for that. And so the part insurance and part pay for, they said that it ends up being this like almost the same. Like, I guess because they bill insurance more than for somebody paying out of pocket. So yeah, I would definitely do the whole thing again. Yeah. Oh my God. Did it help correct? Yeah. The diastasis is completely corrected. They sewed my abs back together. It's totally corrected. So as for how it's going, it's really painful right now, because they sew your abdomen back together. That's just painful. And then with the abdominoplasty, with, you know, smoothing that and, you know, getting rid of that extra skin and everything, they pull everything really tight. So I have a lot of swelling. I have swelling both up here and like down low, and you can actually see kind of toward my pelvic bone, it juts out because a lot of that fluid is draining and it's down there. And so they're having me like massage that toward my drain to get that fluid to kind of move toward the drain to get that out. But my understanding is I'll have some swelling for a couple months. But yeah, I'm not having much back pain at all, which I can't believe. I have lived with back pain for so long. It's remarkable. In the middle of my back, which went out all the time, hasn't been out at all. So I'm really grateful for that. Yeah, Stacey, if exercise isn't helping your diastasis, which is how it was for my case, it was just too severe. A tummy tuck is really the way to go, or some sort of correction with that. Most people who get a tummy tuck have diastasis, is what my surgeon said, and so that's just included in the surgery. They sew your abs back together as just part of the abdominoplasty. How long? Okay, and I'm going to be just a few more minutes because I don't have much battery left on my phone. How long will the swelling last? Will I go back into regular clothes by the time I have to go back to work? No, I think I'll wear pajamas to work. No, yes. I actually had sweats and a t-shirt on yesterday. The big pain for me is that I've got all these layers. The buttons make it easier, and because I had such a large chest, I don't own any button-up shirts, so the pajamas are easier for me that way when I'm just hanging out at home. Also, because of the drain, it's much easier for me having stretchy lounge pants on because I'm dealing with that drain with going to the bathroom. I still have these little gauze pads. I have those all the way around my body, and so it's just much easier to not wear regular pants, to just wear pajama pants, and so just staying in pajamas when I'm home. The swelling will last. It's different for everyone, but it can last up to a couple months. I had somebody tell me that with her abdominoplasty that she dropped 2 or 3 pant sizes, but it was 6 months before that happened. So I haven't tried any of my regular clothes on. I haven't really been on the scale because I have so much swelling that I just have learned from 3 kids not to do that right away. But I'll be swollen for a while, but the swelling is definitely coming down. Even Matthew this morning when he saw me, he was like, "Oh, you look a little less swollen today." So I think it just takes time, and it's different for everyone, but it will be a few months. An alert that it's time for me to take some medication. So raising my arms, I'm not having any of that pain. I can raise my arms just fine, and I don't have any pain. A lot of people told me that was something that I would have pain with, but I don't. So I'm really grateful for that because that was something that I was concerned about. As far as how I'm sleeping, Jackie, I'm in a chair, and I think I would be sleeping a little better if I wasn't having alarms going off constantly for me to stay on top of my pain medication. But I'm only sleeping a couple hours at a time, and then it tends to be time to take one medication or another. So I'm not sleeping great, but I am taking 1 or 2 naps a day, usually for a couple hours each time. So I'm sleeping a lot. And I think sleep is something that's so good for your body to heal. And so I'm just taking advantage of that while I can. So anyway, I feel like I've rambled for a really long time, but I hope that this has been helpful. If you have considered these surgeries or are just curious about it, I hope that it isn't weird, me talking about all these things, but it's been kind of life-consuming, and I think it's important for girls to talk about this kind of stuff. It has surprised me how many people have private messaged me or emailed me and said that they had the surgery or they had considered the surgery. And I feel like there's a negative stigma around plastic surgery, but I don't think that should necessarily be there. And it was something that I really needed physically, and I feel like a little emotionally as well. So I'm really glad that I did it, and I'll continue to be sharing as the healing process is going, but I hope this was interesting. Thanks so much for all your prayers and all of your kind words and all of your encouragement. It has meant a great deal to me to know that there are people all over the place that are sharing in this story. So thanks so much. Have a great day. Have a great Sunday, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.